I've had both of these pens for several different years now, and I've used both of them for a lot of doodles, but I started using this one more for doing my drawings in my sketchbooks. And I thought that both of these pens would have, either the same size of nib, or maybe that this one would actually be, I thought this one would be more of a fine point, because it says ultra fine point on it. But this one's actually more like a marker, obviously right here, permanent marker. But I didn't realize how much of a difference there would be between these. I thought it would be pretty much similar, and I thought this one would have a smaller point. But the truth is, this one has a smaller point than the ultrafine point, this Sharpie pen here. And what I like about this one is that I noticed there's not as much bleeding on the paper. I don't get as much feathering on the paper. I don't have as much ink coming out, I notice as well. For example, if I'm drawing my sketchbook, I don't have to worry about one page bleeding onto another one. And in this drawing here, I have a combination of both of the pens. Here, I filled in a larger area with this pen here. And all of these lines, the finer lines, I use this. So I like to use a combination of both of these pens when I'm creating drawings, and this allows me to fill in areas a lot faster. Now, if I really want to fill in things a lot quicker, I will add this one to it. I'll kind of combine all three of these so I get the combination of a really fine point, something in the middle, and then something really bold. But we're getting a bit off topic comparing these two pens, but I just wanted to give you an example of what I was talking about for this drawing. So when I first started drawing with these, the first one I actually started using was this one here, the ultra fine point. I was using this for doing bigger drawings on, I'd put out a big sheet of paper, I would draw on my wall. And I used the bold Sharpie to do the thicker lines, and I would use this for little tiny details, cross-hatching, adding some realistic textures to it. But I switched over to using this one more. I don't get as much feathering on the paper. And I will compare this and give you an example of what I'm talking about here. So this here is the Sharpie Ultra Fine Point, and we're going to do a line test to compare the two and see what the lines are like and compare the feathering. That's if I can get it right. I should have another one here, actually. As you can see there, pretty straight line. There's a little bit of feathering, but not that much. And I will show you what it's like when I hold the pen down. As you can see there, I get quite a bit of feathering when I'm holding it. I don't have this issue with other type of pens, kind of depends on what you're using. But usually, pretty much every time, if you're going to be using something that's like a marker, you're going to be getting a lot more feathering on the paper. So let's go ahead and compare this to the next one. So go ahead and arrow here, and this is going to be the UL marker. Ultra fine. Why did I put L? Okay, UL as in ultra. I get what I was doing. I understand. Anyways, as I was saying, let's go ahead and compare this pen here. This one is going to be the Sharpie pen. Let's go do a line test. I will be doing it at the same speed as I did the other one. Then after that, I will be drawing a slower line. As you can see, the line is a little bit thinner, not by much. Also, I noticed that the line seems to be a little bit darker than what I got on this one. So let's go ahead and try the slower test of drawing the line, and go ahead and see what that looks like in comparison to the ultra fine point. And as you can see, the pen does not do as much feathering, and also the edges are a bit sharper than what you're going to get with the ultra fine point. And the color of the ink in this pen is a bit of a darker black than the what you're getting in the Sharpie marker. So that is another difference that you will be able to notice. So depending on what you're drawing, if you want a drawing displayed in a certain way, you've kind of got to think about the lighting a little bit. So if I hold this up, I'll show you what I mean. What I will do actually is I'm going to draw a circle here and fill it in, and I will show you the difference in the color of the blacks between these two. So that one was the marker, and this one is going to be the pen. Now I'm going to hold this in the light at a different angle. Not sure if you can see that. As you can see, when I hold it up in the light at an angle, this one here is quite a bit darker than that one. It's a different color of black. I noticed that the marker one has a bit of a gray tint to it, and it seems to reflect more than the ink from the pen. So that is something that you should be aware of when you're doing any drawings with this. The marker is going to reflect more light, whereas the pen is going to absorb more of it, and it's going to give you darker lines whenever you're creating something. And I figured I'd give everybody some advice on that, since I've been doing drawings with them and I wasn't even sure, like, what is the difference here? And I'd come across this after using them for a while, and I just want to give everybody some tips in comparing these, since those of you who like to doodle and want to get down to knowing absolutely every single little difference between the pens, that's what I'm going to be doing in all of these tutorials. So if you have any questions about any pens you'd like me to compare, it can be anything, such as, you know, these two pens here, you know, something very simple. It can be something more complex, whatever it is. Go ahead and email me, or just put a comment below this video and I will get to it, and I will do a review of it or comparison. So if you got any questions about this, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video useful, go ahead and share it with your friends and give it a like. I'll see you in the next video, and you have a good day.